Hello to you. I'm Jesse Johnson. This video is attachment. That's the main word, attachment to beliefs is the greatest shackle. The present condition is birth is the entrance to phenomenality and death is the exit. Attachment to beliefs is the greatest shackles. It is not the beliefs per se, but the attachment to them. Who or what is born and dies? I do not speak of the body. To be free is to know that one do not know and never shall, for it is impossible. It is easier to teach the blind to paint fine art paintings than to convey this or this, what is, with words. The end of all questions and answers is the same as the end of all searching and all seeking. Further explanations and information do not provide what is sought. To live life, drop explanations and information and rest in what is prior to all mental activity. No matter how many facts you may collect about any one thing, everything, and all things, the basic nature of sound is mechanical and the same for all. But through various musical instruments is different. So it is with presentness, beingness of this omni-universe cosmos. For half knowledge cannot take one to wisdom. Wisdom is knowing, but just knowing and experiencing is not wisdom. Knowledge of the world is inferior to knowledge of that which births the world and is prior to it, every now moment. What problems can there be that the mind did not create? For all problems are created by the mind. The solution to all life's so-called problems begins with the cessation in believing in the contents of the mind's solutions. Dive into the depths of one's own beingness. The pearl of greatest price lay at the bottom. Experiences are helpful in the daily aspects of common life, but isn't the road to happiness. There is a state where unhappiness is a physical impossibility. The inherent nature of the mind is the process of thought. Thoughts produce thinking, and thinking in its complexity produces the illusion of being a separate thinker. A false sense of personal self apart from the whole universe. An impossibility. And dreams are a continuation of thoughts while the body sleeps. Do not attempt the cessation of thought. It isn't natural. The goal is cessation of identification with thought. At the root, there's no difference between the false feeling of seeming to be a separate self and misery, suffering, and every and all negative life states. This produces the separate self, produces the nightmare cultures and societies the world over, from the most ancient past to the present day. This is so. False feeling of being separate and apart is the primal dissatisfaction. Ignored and unfed, thoughts depart of themselves, leaving a restful state. What is called peace by the many is, called peace by the many is only absence of disturbance. True peace is an impossibility to disturb. It resides beyond the reach of disturbance. The common view is that there's a subjective observer. The common view is that there is a subjective observer observing an objective world. The subject is separate from the object. No such thing is the case as an aspect of this actuality and reality. When the here, H-E-R-E, when the here becomes every single where and every single there, and the now becomes the only eternal always, then one knows without mechanical memory of knowing. The source, so to speak, of everything has no name, no label, no tag, no substance, no form, no thinking, no ego. It is the mind that is in motion, in movement, in time, in space. All things and processes are afloat in the great eternal river. But the world of a person is a solitary, closed, departmentalized place. Each person separate and alone, without peace. Each one out to shape the world into their own imaginary self-image, into their own madness. Only fools seek to stop the shaking of the moon's millions of reflections on the ocean's surface water. The only prison is mental. Controlling the mind do not take one to freedom, but adds another chain to one's shackles. No matter how fast or far one runs, there's no escaping from oneself. Pain is a physical experience. Suffering is a mental one. Being a separate person is an imaginary, mentally thought-constructed self, which is the jail. The imagination that produced the separate person is the jailer. Stop believing what one imagines oneself to be, and the jail cell doors opens. It's seen then that being somebody is an empty existence. The empty experience that is what your system is filled with. There is another way to live that's 10,000 times better. I want to thank everyone for listening and watching, and subscribe, and please share this video. Have a good day. All of my videos, to see all of my videos, please write into YouTube, Jesse Johnson, Jessie. Thank you and have a good day.